Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Today's flavor is pecan pie. It's going to be 31 degrees today, so a chilly day. Partly cloudy. The sun does come out every now and then. And I think I see a snowflake every now and then too. So it's going to be one of those days. So today, I think my project for the day, excuse me, is going to make some soup and clean up my kitchen. I think the seeds need to go back in the garage. I'll keep the few that I want to plant yet separate, but the rest of them can go in the garage. That's where I've been storing them. But I would like to make like a seed bank for myself. So those seeds I'm going to make with, I'm going to make with fresh seeds. And then keep it in the refrigerator. So initially I'll buy some seeds, and then from this year's garden I'm going to save as many seeds as I can, and then put those seeds in my little food bank too. The ones I have in the garage, which is where I've been keeping them, it's fine for storage in the winter, but in the summer it gets pretty hot in that garage. So probably not the best place where I've chosen to store my seeds. But anyway, most of the seeds I've tried are still viable though, so I don't know. But those aren't the ones I want to put in my seed vault. Anyway, my coffee maker here gets very noisy towards the end of the cycle. It's not blowing up. So let's put some creamer in here and give this coffee a taste. I've had many cups of pecan pie, and I know it's tasty, but I like doing a cheers with you guys. So grab yourself a cup of coffee. Cheers. Yes. And we'll have a visit. So it's my goal to clean up my kitchen today. That shouldn't take too long. It's mostly just the kitchen table and a few jars here and there. And then, since I'm going to be in the kitchen anyway, I'm going to make a soup. I have some produce that I need to use up. And hopefully I'll get that done today. So, alright, I'm going to go check my budget book and drink my coffee and just chill a little bit, think about how I want to go about the task before me. Okay, time to take a look at my budget. Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day. I forgot to wish everybody happy St. Patrick's Day, but I get a nice green check mark for it. So, no money spent yesterday, but either tomorrow or today, sometime within the next couple days, I have to go get a couple more containers so I can finish planting my seeds and get that done. It's been stretching out for too long. So I'm still going to try the winter sowing for those seeds because it's the middle of March, so I'm hoping the weather breaks pretty soon. And maybe it'll be like a little miniature garden and sprout. That would be nice. So I'm pretty happy with the budget so far this month. I haven't spent a ton of money. I could still do better, but my goal is not to never spend any money. My goal is just to get caught up on my bills and free up some money that I could spend on other things. But down the road, I foresee me needing a new cell phone, because this one I got in 2016, and it's starting to bog down and freeze up sometimes, and I know its days are numbered, and I clean it up all the time. I always clean out my files and everything, so it's not that it's got too much stuff on it that shouldn't be on there. But, you know, they only last so long, and this phone, you don't put a new battery or anything in it. But the thing I like about this phone, you can put your stuff on an SD card. So next time I look for a phone, I'm going to look for that same feature. So I know I'm going to need a new cell phone. I know I need some more gardening containers for my winter sowing, because those I can use for, you know, a few years anyway before they deteriorate. And so that's something that's reusable. And I know I'm going to need new windows and need my roof repaired. And this roof is 20 years old, so I know they're going to tell me, oh, you need a new roof. So that's going to be a big expense. So I know those things are coming down the pike. My stove is 20 years old. I mean, it still works great. Most of my appliances I've already replaced. I do need to replace the above the stove microwave. I've been using the countertop one that I bought because it was cheaper. But eventually I have to replace that too. So, you know, hopefully my car will be all right. But that will need new tires before too long. So big expenses coming up. But for now, as long as I can get away with using what I have, that's what I'm going to do. So, all right. I hope you guys don't have too many repairs coming up. It seems like this is maybe a 20-year cycle. So, all right. That's my budget for today. All right. This morning I wanted to have a little chat. I thought we could exchange some ideas on saving money. So you can leave your comments about that in the comments below, and maybe we can all get some new ideas, because I sure could use some. So first of all, cheers. I thought I'd have my coffee with you. So living a frugal life doesn't necessarily mean you're cheap. It means you do your best to live within your means. Have I always done that? Oh no, not at all. But I've had a paradigm shift. And so now, through necessity, I've come to the conclusion that that is a good idea. So I put some of the things that I do to save money into specific categories, and I'm going to share those with you. Maybe you can get some good ideas, and then you can give me some good ideas. That would be great. All right, well, the first thing that I do, and I made myself a nice long list here, so I'll be reading off of that, is to have a financial plan. Now, you guys know every morning I do my spend, no spend. It's not my goal to have a no spend year. It's my goal to have a low spend year. And by doing that, I'm monitoring the days that I have no spends. I don't put anything particular in my spending days. I just get a red X, as you guys know, or a check mark. Very simple. But it helps me focus on the day, and sometimes I'll go, oh, I'm going to buy this or I'm going to buy that, and then it kind of hones me in on, well, you know, you're not going to get a green check mark. So it does help. I mean, is it going to stop me from buying something that I really want? Probably not. But it helps me postpone buying that thing and really thinking about it before I just impulsively go ahead and buy it. So having a financial plan, I think, should be the first step in your trying to save money. Whether your goal is building up a large savings account or just maintaining your lifestyle, that's my goal at this point, is to maintain my lifestyle as much as possible, which is getting ridiculously hard at this point in time. And I have so many things that I would like to say on this channel about that, but I can't because of monitoring and some things you just can't talk about. So moving on. So having the financial plan and then monitoring your spending every day. And when you do spend, I write down specifically what I bought. Because a lot of times you think, oh, I'm out of money, what did I buy? And you truly don't remember. So I write down, I know it takes a little bit of work, but I write down what I actually buy. So the first thing, of course, you guys know I save the most money on food. So let me see here. First thing I do is when I shop, I look at flash food, I look at discount. I shop in a discount grocery store, which is Mark's. I shop at Ollie's. They have food there too, discounted. Aldi's, I shop there because they're cheaper. Or I shop at Walmart. So I shop more than one store, and I pick up those things that I need that are on sale. So if you just shop in one store and just go by, you know, what they have on sale, it sort of narrows your options. So I would highly recommend you find several stores that you can buy things that you like. And after a while, you'll know off the top of your head, okay, Aldi's has flour cheaper than Walmart. I don't know if they really do, but, or, you know, so I'll buy it there, or, you know, get familiar with the prices of your basic foods, and then buy those foods when you shop. Now, for me, I shop mostly once a month. Every now and then I'll have a little second fill-in shop, but when I shop once a month, I shop for the day. And I go to all the different stores. Now, I'm fortunate that my stores are all within a 5-mile area, probably even closer than that. So I'll map my route. I have my list of what I want to buy where, and I just do the circuit, and there you go. That's how I save the most money. Now, the bad part of that is when I get home, I have a ton of things. If I bought a lot, I have to put them all away, and I'm already wiped out from shopping, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So sometimes I just put the frozen things away, and the things that can wait, I'll put away over a day or two. So that's one thing that I do to save money. I maintain a food pantry at home of all those things that I like to eat, and I do like to try new things sometimes, and I'll try them either when they're on sale or I'll buy a small package of whatever it is. But for the most part, I know certain things that I like, and so those are the things that I buy over and over again. I buy very little processed food. I mean, I do buy, pretzels, or I love potato chips. So I do buy things like that, maybe once a month, but I don't sit and eat the whole bag. I just eat little pieces of it to satisfy whatever craving I have. So I do buy that, and I buy them at the best price that I can find. Well, I make most of my meals are home cooked. Now I do buy some vegan meats, for lack of a better term. Let's say vegan proteins, and some of them are just things that I can stick in the air fryer for when I want a quick meal. So I do buy some things like that, but most of my meals are, the majority of the meal is home cooked. On days where I'm busy, I'll either eat leftovers that I've purposefully cooked ahead, or I'll have a quick baked potato or some pasta with some sauce of whatever I have on hand. So very quick meals. Some meals are more involved. It depends on the day and what I'm doing. But I almost always eat at home. I do have lunch with friends sometimes, or if we have a family birthday, sometimes we'll meet at a restaurant. But I very, very rarely go out to eat anymore. Maybe once a month, if that. So when I was dating, of course, went out once or twice a week, but that's no more, and that's fine. So I cook almost all my meals at home. I try to keep them as simple as possible with the fewest amount of ingredients. I don't like to make recipes with, 20 different ingredients. Now, if I consistently make a dish that uses a lot of spices, I'll go ahead and make that spice mix so I have enough for several meals, so I don't have to keep doling out all the separate spices. So making spice mixes for yourself, depending on what flavors you like, that saves a lot of time, and it actually saves money. So I do that. I do a daily menu. I don't do a weekly menu. I just, every day I look and I see what needs to be used up, and because I have basics that I buy all the time, and then I see what needs to be used up and I make my meals around that. And again, I try and think of things that go together. Like today, I'm going to make a soup for dinner, and it just makes it easy. And so I have a choice of, today I feel like cooking, so I can do more prep, or today I don't feel like cooking, but I have a real easy meal plan for the day. And I don't know what I'm going to want to eat next Friday. I have no idea. So that's why I like to do a daily meal plan around things that I have. And I always know what's in my fridge and in my freezer. So with my at-home food pantry, I always buy ahead. I always try and keep at least 2 or 3 of the things that I use all the time. And I have basics, and those are the things that I put in my stash. I don't buy a lot of off-the-cuff prepared foods or anything like that. I keep basics: beans, veggies, canned or frozen, staples, flour, rice, pasta. I don't buy a lot of pre-made boxed foods. I do have some, but not much. And so those are the things that I put in my long-term pantry, as opposed to prepackaged foods, because they're not altogether that healthy. So another thing that I do to save money on food is I'm not necessarily brand loyal. I don't need to buy Bob's Red Mill bread flour if I can get Pillsbury bread flour cheaper. It depends. So I'm not brand loyal when it comes to food shopping. Quality is important, but I don't care what brand it is, and I also, a lot of the house brands are manufactured by name brand companies. So I think you can do research on that. I haven't personally done that myself, but not being brand loyal saves me a lot of money. Now that goes for other things besides just food. Let's say I like a certain brand of jeans. Now those, because I know they fit me well, I will be brand loyal to, but I'll also try on different other brands, and I'll have more than one certain kind. As long as it fits, that's what I'll buy, or whatever's on sale. One of the biggest things that helps me save money and not spend so much is to keep it simple. Try not to overcomplicate it. Don't give yourself too many choices, because then you start to get confused. You buy this, then you buy that, and then you don't like that, and then you're stuck with all this stuff. So keeping it simple is a big key to saving money and living your life frugally, and still with abundance. Now another habit, very bad habit that I used to have, was I would go out and shop and just look around for things. And that's a habit I've managed to break, at least for the last maybe 3 years or so. I don't just go out and shop to see what I can see. If I go out to shop, it's with purpose, because I pretty much have everything that I want and need, and I don't want to overstuff my house. So I don't do that anymore. And even with food, I'll look on Flash Food, and sometimes they have vegan things marked down on sale because they're getting near the expiration date. And let's say I find Beyond Meat or something along those lines, I'll buy a lot of it because it's on sale. And then I just freeze it, and I don't care if it's near the expiration date. It's still perfectly good. It's not going to live in my fridge and go bad. It'll live in my freezer, and I'll use it up. So those are a lot of the things that I do to save money on food. Let me know in the comments below how you save money on food. So next, I'm going to talk about my garden, because that's also food. It's food and beauty. I love flowers, absolutely adore them. And all summer long, I like to pick little bouquets, little tiny bouquets. And I keep them on the kitchen table. I'll pick whatever flowers, that week that look nice, and I'll make myself a little bouquet. So flowers are important to me. Are they necessary? No, but I get a lot of pleasure from looking at them. And I get a lot of pleasure in being outside in my garden. To me, I walk outside my door and I'm on staycation. You know, I can have a cup of coffee or a glass of wine in the evening. I can light some citronella candles and just sit and listen to my wind chimes, listen to the birds sing, let my dogs run around the backyard. I mean, to me, I don't need anything else. I don't need to physically go somewhere to have that same feeling. And that's why I like to have like a little fountain, because I do like the water. And we have Lake Erie, you know, within 15 minutes from my house. I could go to Lake Erie if I wanted to go to the beach. So I have everything I need right around my house. We have the Emerald Necklace, which is a park that goes all through Ohio. That's why they call it the Emerald Necklace, because it goes all the way around. And it's beautiful woods. So if I want a day in the woods, I can go there, which is very peaceful to me. You can go there, have a picnic, you can go there, and, you know, so that's what I do when I want to get away from my busyness. I just take a staycation day, and all I have to do is walk out the door. And I already have it. I don't have to spend any money. So if you like to get away, you don't have money for a vacation, make yourself a little area. Even if you live in an apartment, you know, if most apartments have some outdoor space, you know, hang out there. Get yourself a TV tray and a nice chair that you can put your feet up, and have a staycation day if you want to go outside, or go to the park. Whatever park you like. If you like the water, you know, go there. Now, our metro parks, they have, you know, rivers going through them, so that's nice. They have bike trails. They have, I think you can even rent horses. I'm not sure about that, but I actually used to have a horse. His name was Apache. And he was a Palomino, really a nice guy. And I used to love to go down to the metro parks and ride him. And I would even go down there in the winter, and it was really nice. But I co-owned him with a neighbor, and then it got to the point where it just got too expensive to feed him and stuff like that. So the neighbor took over. But yeah, I had a horse for a couple years, and I loved it. I really did. It was just wonderful. But anyway, I get off the subject because that was definitely not frugal. But, you know, not everything has to be frugal. If you want dogs or pets or chickens or goats, whatever you want, yeah, it's an expense. But if it's something that brings you pleasure, then that's what you should concentrate on. So back to the garden. I want to start saving more of my own seeds. I saved some last year. I had a lot of things. You know, here in Ohio, a lot of times it's really cold and cool and, you know, great for spinach and lettuce and brassicas and things. And then all of a sudden we go from that to 80s and 90s, you know, like, so then what happens is all that stuff bolts. So when that happens, I just let it go, and then I gather the seeds. So this year I'm going to make a bigger effort to get more seeds. And then, like I said, I'm going to make a little seed bank for myself, put it in, I have half-gallon mason jars, put put it in there with oxygen absorbers and keep it in a cool place. So that's my plan for saving my own seeds. And then those seeds will produce better vegetables or flowers or whatever because they're already, the parent plant already acclimated itself to the environment that it grew in. So their offspring will be a better plant for you, if that makes sense. So I save money with that, save my own seeds, whether that's tomatoes or peppers or, spinach will bolt, any vegetable that bolts or produces seeds, which is almost every one or every flower. So I'm going to do that. I have the kitchen composter. Now that doesn't really make compost. It just sort of dries everything and grinds it up. But I was watching another YouTube channel and she was demonstrating, she had one of those, and what she did was she put I'll call it compost. She put the compost when the machine was done into her blender and made a real fine powder out of it. Now in that you have your veggie scraps, your eggshells, your coffee grounds, whatever you put in there. So those things still have nutrients in them. And what she did was she ground it into a fine powder and then she sprinkled it over her little seedlings, and it perked them right up and they grew faster. So I'm going to try that this year too. And I'm also going to drag out my bokashi that I've had for probably 3 years now that I've never used. So between the two of those, now that will make compost because it grows the soil bacteria because it has an inoculant that you put in with it. So between the two of those, I'm hoping to have some free fertilizer. I do have fertilizer from last year that I plan to use up, but I also want to supplement with that. So it'll be free fertilizer. And yes, there was an initial cost, but it actually pays for itself over 2 or 3 years. I'm going to reuse my soil. A lot of people advocate just putting new soil into your pots and containers. I don't do that. I can't afford it. I can't afford to throw out that soil. Sometimes if I have like hanging baskets, things like that, what I'll do is I'll put them into my tumbler composter. So it'll mix with all the ingredients in the composter and that will make a nice soil again. So I do that. I reuse my soil that way. I amend the soil that I have in my City Picker boxes. I do that by adding chicken manure, worm castings, whatever I have on hand. So, and then this year too, I want to try a system, Robbie and Gary's Garden Easy, she does this, where she buys Dollar Tree pitchers and drills holes in the bottom and up in the soil so it gets air, and then she just puts her kitchen scraps in there, and it doesn't really draw rodents because it has a lid. So I'm going to try that this year and see if that'll help feed my plants, because I've been known to skip the feedings come around the end of July and it's like, oh yeah, I don't want to do this. But this year I'm going to be home for the summer, hopefully. That's the plan. So last last year it was always, I had a certain time frame because I had to go away for the weekend, and you know, it was just all too much. But anyway, so I save money gardening by saving my seeds, making my own compost, my own fertilizer, reusing my soil, and that's about it for the gardening. So on beauty, I have all this old makeup. Well, there's brushes and things in there too, but this is old makeup. So I'm going to look through all of this. I'm going to purge that. I have other makeup. I used to love to wear, I never wore a lot of makeup, but I liked, you know, different makeup. But then usually what I ended up doing was using the same thing that I found that I liked over and over again, and a lot of it ended up in here that wasn't my favorite. So spending a lot of money on beauty products, I'd rather outlay that money on skincare products as opposed to makeup, because I really don't wear much makeup at all anymore. Most of the time my face is naked. If I go out even to the store, I'll put lipstick. I do like to wear lipstick. I'll put on some lipstick because I feel that it perks up my skin color, and I'll do a little bit of eyebrows. I always had really good eyebrows until I got older. They got a little sparser, but I never needed to do anything with my eyebrows. You know, I just plucked them and that was it. But now I put a little bit of color on my eyebrows when I go out, and just a little bit of makeup on my eyes. I don't normally put mascara on because I have dry eyes, and mascara really irritates my eyes, which, you know, that doesn't make me happy because I don't have real long, beautiful, dark eyelashes. But I think I'm going to start using some castor oil on them to see if that maybe will make them a little thicker. But we'll see. Maybe I'll try that on my eyebrows too. But I don't want to end up with Spock eyebrows. So beauty-wise, I pretty much stick to the same things. With some of those, I am brand loyal, but a lot of times they discontinue making whatever color I like, so I have to move on to something else. But I do my own nails. I'll do my own feet. So I don't like going to spas. I don't like having my nails done. I do my own hair. I don't like going for haircuts. I've recently stopped coloring my hair, although I'm seriously considering putting some few streaks in my hair. I might do that. I don't know. We've got a reunion coming up, a school reunion, another one. The people I went to school with really like to get together. So every 5 years they usually have a reunion. So I haven't even gone to the last 3 or 4. I think I've gone to 2, and I wasn't impressed with either one. But I might go this year. I don't know, but that's in July. But I'm not doing anything special for that. You know, what you see is what you get. So anyway, those are the things that I do to save money on beauty. I do skincare. It's basically, I use a scrubber kind of, what is it, silicone little thing to wash my face with some facial cleanser, and then I put on my beauty products that I did in a video, I don't know, 3 or 4 videos ago. And that's pretty much it. I keep it very basic, very simple. I don't want to fuss anymore. I used to fuss. I really did. But I don't want to fuss anymore. I'm just not into that anymore. Okay, health and wellness. I do take supplements. I usually look around for, I've kind of switched to gummies. I like those. They're more expensive, but I find taking pills for me is very difficult because I do have problems with my throat and neck and all that. So I've been taking these Nutrimin vitamin gummies. I get those on Amazon. They're expensive, but and they are vegan and sugar-free. But the thing is with the vitamins, the gummies, I don't eat gummies that have gelatin in them. So they have to be made with pectin or something like that because, as you know, I'm vegetarian and I don't consume gelatin. So sometimes because of that I have to pay a little bit more. But okay, I guess I'm talking too much. But anyway, back to the vitamins. I found vitamins that I like, those, and then I take vitamin D and B. I get those actually at Aldi's, and those don't contain gelatin, and they're much cheaper. They're like $6 or $7 unless they've gone up again. And then I take vitamin D plus K2. And if you're not familiar with that combination, do a little research. And there's a lot of benefits to taking that. And then I take this, it's a probiotic, digestive aid, ginger, and aloe vera gummies. Those I get on Amazon as well. So I do that for health because most of us, whether you eat meat or don't eat meat, are a little vitamin deficient, at least in certain vitamins. Vitamin D is one. What else? Vitamin B, especially if you're vegan or vegetarian, because a lot of that you get from animal products, but you can get it in other ways too. Some veggies, nutritional yeast, so you can get vitamin B that way. Magnesium is also one that a lot of us are deficient in. So the best thing that you could do is go to your practitioner and have them run a test to see what you're deficient in, and then you can adjust your supplements according to that. So if you want, some colleges, like for dental care, you can go to some colleges and they have, if they have a dental program, they have students that will do work cheap. So you can do that. You can, you know, if you're up to it. Not everybody wants somebody that's just learning, working on their teeth. But, you know, if it's basic cleaning and things like that, maybe fluoride treatments, whatever it is you do to your teeth, you can try a dental college if you have one in your area. And it's not free, I don't think, but they're, you know, much cheaper. I know my mom went to a dental college to have some bridge work done, and, you know, they had to tweak it, but she's satisfied with it. So backing up a little bit, if you don't want to cut your own hair or do your own beauty care, you could try a beauty college where students are learning, and you can go into the beauty college and, you know, have your procedure done, whatever it is. I had a lady that I knew for a very long time when I was a hairdresser. She started coming to me when I was in beauty school, and I had a relationship with her, even when I had my babies and I didn't work for 3 or 4 years. I did her at home. So she was my longest customer. And I had a relationship with her for over 30 years. And then I did her family, her kids and her grandkids and her husband. I cut all their hair. I would go to their house and have like a marathon hair cutting session. But going to beauty school is a good, cheap way if you can't do it yourself and you can't afford a salon to maintain your beautiful whatever. I know there's also schools that if you're very adventuresome, you can go have some cosmetic work done at a school. And so, you know, let's say you wanted, I don't know what procedures they all do, but, you know, you can check into it. So if you have a hospital around that does cosmetic surgery, you could check into that and see if they have a program, because they need to practice on somebody. So if you have a lot of adventure in your soul, you can check that out, and I'm sure it would be at least half the cost. Another thing that I try to do for my health and wellness is I try to stay within a certain weight range. Now, I don't diet at all. I mean, if the foods that I eat are not that calorie dense, I guess, if you want to call it that, but you know, I'll cut back and have a bigger salad and less carbs, or if I want to lose a couple pounds. But the biggest way that I can maintain my weight is if I start walking, or if I, you know, do more activity. Once the gardening season starts, you know, I'll drop a couple pounds. I've been fortunate that I've never had a weight problem. But maintaining your weight not only improves your health, but it also improves your food budget. Okay, next I want to talk about entertainment. I already talked about doing staycations at home, fixing up a space outside or inside where you feel calm and relaxed. And if you don't have any outside space and you like plants, you know, make yourself an area indoors where you can put maybe a little fountain and some mood lighting, little uplights, or Christmas lights or fairy lights or whatever makes you feel calm. And then get yourself some plants and make yourself a little corner with a chair. You can read a book there, or you can make it by your television and watch movies there. You can download apps like Netflix, or you know what they all are. And then you can turn them off when there's nothing interesting, and then restart them again when there's a show you want to watch. Eventually all the movies will end up on one of those applications. So if you love movies, you can watch those. Make yourself a little reading corner with all your books that you want to read. You can do that for entertainment. Entertain at home if you're a very social person. Have people come over, because then they'll reciprocate and have you to their house. And then make it potluck. Everybody brings something. You can make it a appetizer potluck, or you know, a casserole potluck, or a dessert potluck. Have your lady friends over for tea and crumpets. I don't think I've ever had a crumpet, but you can do that. You can have an outdoor party, you know, decorate. Go to Dollar Tree, get some cheap decorations and do that. So there's lots of things you can do to entertain yourself. Start a new hobby, work on an old hobby, go back to hobbies that you had before. Talk on the phone. You know, that's entertainment sometimes. Call a friend that you haven't talked to in a while and get caught up. So lots of things you can do for entertainment that don't cost a lot of money. Go to breakfast instead of dinner. That's a lot cheaper. Meet some friends for breakfast, even if you meet at McDonald's. You know, I see a lot of old guys do that. They meet their retired work buddies at McDonald's and, you know, have a little meal and coffee, even though McDonald's isn't that cheap anymore, but, you know, or your favorite neighborhood restaurant. That would be nice. Helping out the community, businesses, and also entertaining yourself. Or, you know, meet a friend for a picnic. Have a picnic with your grandkids. Lots of things you can do for entertainment that don't cost a lot of money. So, anyway, entertainment doesn't have to be expensive. Just use your imagination. And then the last thing I want to talk about saving money is purchases. A lot of times when I purchase something, the first thing I'll do is, let's say I want to buy a book. I'll go, if I'm on Amazon, I'll go to the other sellers and see what they're selling the book for. It doesn't have to be a $25 book when you can buy it for $5. So that's the first thing I do. Open boxes, that's always a good deal. Even if you go to Home Depot or Best Buy, a lot of times they have open boxes where people ordered, let's say, a refrigerator and then found it didn't fit in the area they wanted, or whatever. A lot of the stuff is new. The box may be damaged, but there's nothing wrong with whatever's inside of it. So I buy a lot of things by open box. Of course, sales. Okay, well, so open boxes, that's always a good thing. And always buy the best, the things that are in the best shape. That's what I do. And I get a lot of things that I normally couldn't afford to buy at a decent price that I'm willing to pay. Buying things ahead, like buying things off season. Like if you're looking for garden beds, maybe buying those when in the winter when they don't sell so many of them, or buying your seeds ahead of time. Anything, you know, buying a winter coat in the summer when they might be cheaper. So buying things off season, you can save some money doing that. And knowing what goes on sale during certain months of the year, like I think electronics go on sale in, you know, before Christmas, or in January where they have the Amazon days, and you know, just waiting. Waiting is a good way to save money. Waiting till something goes on sale where the price drops, or waiting until that item is available and getting a better price is a good way to purchase what you want at a decent price. Time payments, if you have bigger, like appliances or windows or you know, things like that, you can often get those on time payments where you really don't have to pay interest. Now that requires, of course, putting it on a credit card, but if you're good about monitoring your money and making sure that what I do when I do that, I take whatever time I have, let's say with my wash machine, the cost of the washer, I divide it up into however many months that I have to pay. I don't wait until the last minute. I just divide up those payments, so I make sure that it's paid for by the date it comes due, because I don't want to pay all that interest. And most of the shopping that I do in outlets. I don't go to high-end retail stores. I never shop those stores. But if you do like to shop those stores, just wait until they have a big sale. They all have a big sale at some point. A lot of times they'll put things that were maybe at the end of the season, they'll put things on sale that you can pick up a little cheaper, as to opposed to buying them in season. Let's see what, of course, buying used, you know, looking around in the thrift stores and going there and looking for specifically what you want. If you're looking for a bread machine, just keep going back and looking to see if they got a bread machine. You can always ask, maybe if you get to know the employees, ask them to give you a call if they get that certain item in. It's worth a shot. So you can save money that way. And let's see, what did I forget? Anything? Oh, organizing and purging. That is a really good way to save money, because the more you organize and purge, the less you'll have to purge if things are organized, but you'll know exactly what you have, what you need to stock up on, what you have enough of, what you don't have enough of, and you'll know exactly what you have, and you'll be able to use up what you have, and that is one of the best ways to save money. All right, that's the things that I do to save money, to be frugal. I know it sounds like a lot of work, but it's really not. I mean, these are things that I practice every day, very simple things. It's not complicated, and it enables me to have an abundant life and still have what I want at the cost that I want to pay for it. So that's it for my chat today. Sorry to have talked your ear off, but please, in the comments below, I'm sure there's things that I'm missing. Leave us some good ideas and talk to each other down there. I mean, a lot of you comment consistently, and that's great, and you can also talk to each other. You can get to know each other. That's a good way to entertain yourself too. Make friends on YouTube. All right, enough chatter. I'm going to finish my coffee and have some breakfast, and then I'm going to make my soup. Make soup. That saves lots of money. All right, my friends, I'm going to have my afternoon tea. It's 3 o'clock, and it's time to relax. I made my soup, made some coleslaw, trying to use up the produce that I still have left, and I think it'll be very good. So, okay, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.